Hi everyone, this is just a really quick video. I'm really excited about Inkarnate. Hopefully you've seen this on my email. I promise I'm not being sponsored by them. It's just such a great tool for writers, for making maps, but also for teachers. I wish I'd have known about it when I was teaching things like coordinates and little things like that as well. So I'm going to just show you how easy it is and how quick it is to make a map in Inkarnate for teaching coordinates. Okay, so this is primarily for teachers rather than writers, but you might be interested to see how it works. It's a really quick video, hopefully. So you can see I've already created one here, the example teaching map. And that's what I'm going to be working towards. That took less than, kind of 15 minutes to make. So we're going to create a new map. We'll go to Fantasy Battle Maps, choose styles. I'm just going to go for 10 squares by 10 squares. You can make it as big as you want for that, but 10 by 10 is just quicker and easier for what I'm doing. So we'll create the map. Wait for that to load up. So the first thing we need to do is use the brush tool to set our background. So make sure we've got background layer set. We open the catalogue and we can select the water. This is just because I'm doing an island. You don't have to do this, but I'm just going for a treasure island. So I want some water around the edge. And it kind of just shows you how to do it as well. Make the size really big and we just colour in the whole area blue for the water. If you were just doing something on land, if you didn't need it to be a treasure island or anything like that, you wouldn't need to do any of this. This is just me purely for kind of style reasons. And then we go to our mask tool. And what this does is we're going to use add, and we're going to use it to add the treasure island. Okay, so I just kind of draw around where I want the treasure island. Nice simple shape. And then fill in the middle. Colour all that in. I would be interested as well if in the comments of the video, if you want to reply to the newsletter, if you can think of any other reasons as well or any other uses for this in the classroom. I'm sure there must be loads. So that's created the island. I can subtract if I want to then cut some of the island out. If I want to go back to be in the water, do that, and it kind of adjusts all the edges for you. I don't want it to be a grass island, so I'm going to choose open catalogue again with the brush. I want sand, and again I'm going to cut. This time I want foreground. If I don't put foreground, so it colours over the water. What I want is foreground, and then I can just go over it, colour it in. It just makes it a nice, easy desert island. Okay, so far so simple. Then what we need is our grid. Okay, and the grid is what we're going to use for our coordinates. If you want to change the number of rows and columns here, you can add them in, but I'm going to keep with 10 by 10 because it's easier. We're going to use the text tool. This is the only bit that takes a little bit of time really, but I think once you've done it, you can save the map and you can come back in and create a new map every time just using the same kind of thing. You don't need to do it every time. So we're just going to do start text there. We'll go for number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. It's just getting it in the middle that's the hardest, but if you're not as fussed as I sometimes am about getting it in the middle, then it doesn't really matter as much. 9, and then again I'm going to go across the bottom with letters. A, B, C, D, and so on. You know the alphabet by now, I'm imagining. And if, like those last few ones, you've kind of gone off, click on the arrow up in the top left, and then we can just click. It's very intuitive. We can just click and drag and move them where we need to go. Oh, don't want to rotate that one. It's a little bit rotated, but it will be fine. Move these down here. There. And that's pretty much it for setting up the grid. Okay, so now that is set up for next time. I can duplicate this map if I want to keep creating new ones. Now all we need to do is stick our stuff in there. If you want to put something like a river, then the easiest way is to just go back into your mask tool and subtract some of the island. But if you set this quite small, set it to about 9, 10, something like that, then you can draw your river in wherever you want it to go. Maybe make it a little bit wider in places. But that's entirely depends how accurate you want to be. I've just been making maps for one of my books, so I'm kind of in hyper accurate mode, or kind of more detail orientated mode than probably you will be. But that then gives you a river. So one of your questions could be, you know, where does the river end? D3, where does the river begin? H4. You know, you can start to have questions about that. The next thing is the stamp tool, which is over here on the left. So the stamp tool is where you're going to find all of your icons. Click on Open Catalogue, and you've got these. Now, if you've only got the free Inkarnate, then you will have a lot fewer icons than I have. I've paid for, I think it was £20-something for the entire year. It depends how much you're going to use it, really. But there are plenty of ones with the free as well. So what I can do, if I get rid of and then put only free stamps. So these are ones that you will get that are free. So these should be the stamps that you have access to when you come in if you haven't registered. So there's still more than enough here that you can make a good map with. Okay, so I'm going to go for a treasure chest. It says here there's 2 different types. Now I can either click show and it will show me the different types, so I can click which one I want, or I can click on an icon and then up here in the left I can click between which one I want. Then I just put this wherever I want. You can use the greater than and less than signs to rotate if you want to, or you can click over here and rotate, or you can place it and then rotate with this kind of faint yellow circle around the edge as well. So we're going to move that, we're going to put that there. That's where I want my treasure chest. If I want it to be a bit smaller, over here I've got size, so I can just shrink it down and do that. But it already looks nice. They're nice icons. They're, you know, it's got nice shadows and things like that. It looks kind of cartoony. Open Catalogue again. I'm going to put a barrel, but I'm kind of going with this top-down effect. So I want a top-down barrel, and I'm going to put one there, and one there. So I've got a group of barrels. I'm going to put a boat. So you can search up here for what you want. I've still got caps lock on from when I was doing it. Right now, there aren't any boats for the free icons. So again, that's kind of something you might need to pay for if you wanted specifically a boat or something. Again, if you haven't done a treasure island, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to put a palm tree just there, and I'm going to put another palm tree next to it. Oh, that's a bit big. I'm going to put a palm tree over here. Big palm tree. That might be confusing for the children if you say, where's the palm tree? So I'm going to get rid of one. The only other thing that, so you can put as many things as you want on there, really. You kind of see how you can do that now. The only other thing is this thing here, the path tool. And this is quite cool because you can draw paths on your island if you want to, like dotted line paths. So you just kind of draw where you want and go through there. And then that can then be, you know, how many squares do I go through if I walk from the palm tree to the treasure chest using that path? Is that the most? And then you can start talking about efficiency. So you could have a path that comes all the way over here, all the way over here, there. How many squares does that go through? And then the next question could be, is it the most efficient path? And the children could look at working out, well, which way can I go? And again, with the path, you can change the color if you want to stand out a little bit more as black on the sand. Width makes it a little bit thicker. And then you can click on advanced if you really want to and start changing, you know, the gaps and things like that between them. But that is pretty much all there is to it. And you can then click export, and that will then export it as a JPEG with the grid on for whatever use you want. So you can then use that in your teaching sequence for your lessons. So like I say, that has taken, I'm just having a look at the recording now, that has taken us less than 10 minutes to make that map. And I would say probably most of that time was spent kind of me talking or adding the letters and numbers, which you wouldn't necessarily have to do next time. So if you can think of other ways that you can use this in the classroom, please hit reply on my newsletter if that's where you heard about this. You know, send me an email, send me a tweet, comment on the YouTube video, whatever. I would love to hear how else you think you can use it. Thank you for listening. Hope that's been helpful.